Look, I thought another good day. I thought there was some give and take out there today. It was good to see some of the explosive plays offensively today. That's an area I think we can improve on, so that was good to see. Guys are still out there competing. They're working extremely hard, pushing through the heat. It was hot out there today, but guys pushed through, and I think we're getting a lot accomplished in these first 4 days.
Was it the plan for Michael Thomas to be kind of in and out today?
Yeah.
Was it a vet day for Jimmy Graham?
Yes. Yeah, and look, I'll be honest with you. If there's an injury issue or whatever, I'll let you know if anything's kind of injury related.
Dennis, overall first week, can you sum it up first week here, what you like?
Competitive, you know what I mean? I mean that. You asked me to sum it up. That's what it's been. It's been competitive and hot. Those would be the two things that would come from this. So, but it's been good. Our guys, like I said, they're working hard, and I think we're getting better as a team.
Dennis, now that you have a couple of practices on tape with Trevor Penning and Cesar Ruiz, can you make evaluations of what you're seeing yet?
Well, look, I think the positive thing is that they seem to be in relative good shape for coming off of surgery and not really having the whole off season to kind of, especially with a lower body injury, that's kind of hard to do. But I think both those guys are in pretty good shape. I think they're still working back into, football conditioning, but there's a ton of things from a technique, particularly with Trevor. Ton of things from a technique standpoint that he's got to work to improve on. But it's good to have both those guys out there.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my follow-up. Is just from an experience standpoint, obviously, you wanted to see that kind of development. Has he shown, an understanding from?
Well, I would say this. I would say I think he's way further along day one of training camp this year than he was the day he took his last rep last season. So in terms of fundamentals, technique, understanding of what we're doing, I think he's way further along now than where he was at that point. There's still a lot of development to do, but that's what this time of year's all about.
Yeah, how does it open of Isaac Yato? It seemed like going into his 6th year.
Yeah, look, I think he's done a really good job. He came in last year and was really primarily had a special teams role, but I've been impressed with what I've seen out of him defensively, and he kind of fits our prototype. He's got size, he's got length, he's got speed. So those are all things that we look for.
How does an offense open up when you guys are an effective screen team and that stuff's working how you want it to work?
Well, look, at the end of the day, you want to make the defense have to defend 53 1/3, all right? And I think that's what we've kind of made an emphasis on, particularly in this training camp, is being able to get the ball out in space to the playmakers, get the ball on the perimeter, some of those things. And so that, when you have athletic playmakers and you have speed, I think we got more speed on our team right now than maybe what I remember us having in a while. So I think that all poses a threat to the defense.
You can jump out about Hayner so far for practices?
I think he's got some moxie. He's done a good job of, commanding the offense. He's made some really good throws. Seems to be able to see the field pretty well. But I think the most impressive thing to me is just that, it's not too big for him. He's got some moxie about the way he goes about doing his business.
Based on these last few days, is there anything in particular that you're looking for once the full pads come on?
Well, look, you want to see the physicality ramp up. I think that's what we're going to see. And so, you look at some of the run game stuff. It's a little bit hard to evaluate at times. We talked about this yesterday. You can understand whether or not guys are in, the right fits or not. But, does the 3 technique get off the block and actually make the play or not? And so we'll have an opportunity to see that, as we get into the pads.
Speaking of the physicality in the run game, had that big stiff arm against Zach Vaughn. Can you speak about that?
Yeah, it was a stiff arm.
Can you speak about the physicality?
Yeah, look, it was. It's good to see. I think on that particular play, Zach was getting off the block of the tight end, and right as he came off, put the stiff arm out there. That's part of what happens in our league, so that was good.
I know it's only been a handful of plays, but have you seen Kendre Miller catch the ball kind of the way you guys projected he would coming out of the draft?
Yeah, I think he's done some nice things. Not only catching the ball, but I think his route detail, I think, has been better than what maybe I would have anticipated. So I think he's got a skill set to be a well-rounded back, you know, and I think that fits what we're looking for.
What have you noticed about Nick Anderson?
Yeah, look, Nick's a smart, tough, instinctive football player. You know, he's not the prototype size that we're looking for, the prototype length that we're looking for. But yet there's been guys like that have played in this league. And so, you know, one of the most important characteristics of a linebacker is, you know, being an instinctive player. And I think he's got some of those things.
Dennis probably unfairly don't talk about long snapper unless it's a problem or something, but does Zach Wood getting a contract extension done? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, they're hard to find, you know, and I think particularly as you start looking at the way the college game has moved in terms of the punt protection, they're asking them to do a lot of different stuff. They don't really have to do as much in terms of protection at the collegiate level. So, look, when you have a good one, you know, it's nice to have them locked up because you know, it's a problem when you don't have one. And look, at the end of the day, really, for the deep snapper, you know, if nobody's talking about him, that means he's probably doing a pretty good job.
I'm just picking up two plays from Yaden, but and I don't know how well you saw him, but there was a deep ball down the left sideline that should lead, and then there was one on the left flat. So I'm just curious, just from your vantage point, is there anything that stood out on the way he handled those plays that's worth noting?
Well, particularly the ball to Shaheed down the left sideline, I thought, you know, there was no panic in his play. I thought he did a nice job of working to get back in phase with the receiver, saw the hands go up, played the hands. So from a technique standpoint, particularly that play, and that's one of the things, like, you know, down the field when you're playing corner is just that ability to have confidence in yourself to be able to make the play and not panic in those situations. I thought he did a nice job there. All right, guys, thanks.
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Jimmy, what was the determination in coming back here?
You know, for me, you know, I've been trying to come home for a long time, and you know, last year, you know, had some conversations and you know, determined that I really didn't want to play anywhere else. You know, I had a couple teams that were reaching out. You know, all teams have made the playoffs, and you know, I just couldn't see myself wearing another jersey again. And you know, just wanted, hopefully, if there was ever opportunity to come back home, to make it happen here, and it did, and I'm here now. So.
Is that what led to the
year away from the NFL last year, so that you kind of had the one team you wanted to be with?
Yeah, a bunch of teams had reached out last year, and I talked to Jimmy Sexton, and just made it clear that if I don't retire as a Saint, then I wasn't going to play again. So that was kind of the determination, and we were talking last year about some stuff, and we were communicating throughout the season as well, and nothing articulated, and then come this off season, a couple months ago they reached out and started talking, and now I'm here.
Yeah,
So.
what was it like last year not playing?
Very weird, extremely weird. Especially, especially after you spend a whole off season preparing for that, and working out and making sure that you're in shape for when that moment does come. It was weird being away from the game, but also rejuvenating in a way. It definitely, it's interesting to be able to take time off away from it and to realize, just how special this place is, how special this game is, how special this league is, and how special it is to have the opportunity to play in it. It was definitely a year where I was able to, really focus on my body for the first time, especially after the knee injury. I was just basically back to back years, and now feeling better than I ever have. So, I think it was, I think everything happens for a reason, and I think it'll be to my benefit for sure.
Jimmy, speaking of your body,
it feels amazing to be back home. Just really driving up to this facility on Monday brought back beyond beautiful moments for me. Not only here in this building, but here in the city. I became a man in this city, and it meant everything to me to play for this city. And so to come back here and to be able to, get all those amazing memories, amazing wins, amazing people, amazing fans is truly special, and it made me pretty emotional. Monday, Tuesday, just to be able to be back here, and then obviously to be able to put my jersey back on. It's words can't describe what it feels like to be gone for that long, from something that you love, from the people that you love. So I'm fired up.
What was your reaction when you got traded?
I guess I never really talked about it. For me it was pretty shocking, honestly. I thought I would never leave this place, and obviously it's a business. This league's a business, and I woke up to the part of the business that hurts. So for me it was very difficult, but I didn't know I was going to a Super Bowl contender, and I know I had the opportunity to to possibly make a run at a ring, and that's always been a goal for me, but definitely moving across the country was a little different, but at first, yeah, it was very difficult because because my connection with Drew, as an older brother, and all the people in this building, it was a family, and so for me, a guy that doesn't have a lot of family, it was definitely a difficult time for me.
Was it something you possibly saw coming, or was it total shock when you got that?
Yeah, it was total shock for me. I never imagined being anywhere else, so definitely a shock.
How long did it take you to
come to that realization that was just part of the business, and that you were able to get past some of those initial feelings?
Well, it took me a little bit for sure. I've always been an emotional player. I think I've always kind of wore my heart on my sleeve, and after leaving here, I basically stopped doing interviews, and that was kind of one of the reasons. I didn't really have a lot to say that was positive. At the time it really hurt, and it was really difficult for me. So, I just focused on, at the time, you know, just being a good teammate and you know, committing to the place I was at, you know, into that scheme, and you know, to learning to fit into a team that was great. You know, I mean, a team that, you know, had the Legion of Boom, Marshawn Lynch, unbelievable, you know, explosive offense. You know, Russell Wilson, and you know, had a great tight end room. So, you know, for me, it was really just trying to focus on that. But, you know, that's kind of one of the bigger reasons, I guess, I started getting in trouble with the media a little bit. You know, I genuinely didn't know what to say, and you know, I just didn't want to be bothered with it, honestly.
Jim, is that more like wanting to be paid as a wide receiver instead of tight end and things like that?
Yeah. You know, that had nothing to ever be. I mean, I think that also kind of pissed me off because, you know, that's not really what I wanted. You know, I just didn't want to be franchised. Yeah. You know, it's you know, it's hard to play in the middle of the field in this league. You know, and back then at that franchise tag, it made no sense. I was like, well, I just want a longer deal, and that's what that was about. It was about fighting that, and you know, making sure that, you know, I could take care of myself in case something crazy happened. So that's all that was about.
Jimmy, were you saying that the narrative after the franchise tag issue pissed you off because people were saying that's why you got traded, or were you saying just just the issue in general? You know, it kind of got blown out of proportion. Everybody's like, he wants to be a risk, and it has nothing to do with that. I just didn't want to be franchised. You know, I mean, at the time, you know, I played my rookie deal out. You know, and you know, I never asked for $1, and you know, a lot of guys had taken early deals, and I never did. You know, I just played with it, and so I expected that, but you know, that's all history now. You know, you know, that was a long time ago and a few contracts ago. So, you know, I'm just personally happy to be back. You know, happy to have you know, this opportunity to work with, you know, such an unbelievable room, a diverse room. You know, it's awesome to really sit down and talk with Carr. You know, just realize what type of man he is, what type of person he is, and then to see how much talent's on this team. You know, to see how many players that this team has, and the team that's been built here is unbelievable. You know, so much talent on both sides of the ball, and you know, just excited to see it, and you know, spread some of my knowledge and some of the things that I've learned throughout my career.
So what do you guys bring to this team?
For me, you know, it's you know, I'm one of the few, I guess, me and Cam, that go back to you know, to some of the original guys that are hanging up, you know, right in front of us. You know, Will Smith and Jonathan Vilma, Marcus Colston, you know, Drew Brees, and all these guys that brought, you know, special moments here, and you know, truly I understand what, you know, what that culture was like, and what that looks like, the sacrifice that takes, and the brotherhood that bond that needs to be molded, and so I think, you know, number one, I think that I definitely bring that, you know. Two, you know, I've matured a little bit since last time I was here, and having the opportunity to get into a tight end room that's super talented, super diverse, you know, has the opportunity to do a lot for this team, for this franchise. I think I have a lot of knowledge to share there, and obviously I'm feeling better than ever. I'm still 6'7", and I like the red zone. So.
And Jimmy, when you score a touchdown, are you more likely to do a finger roll instead of a dunk?
I mean, I can still dunk, brother. Yeah. I mean, I think I'll be able to dunk till I'm 50, but you know, so still no penalties. I'm still waiting for them to change that one. You know? Yeah.
You said you stopped doing interviews for a while.
Yeah.
When's the last time you did something like this?
Oh well, I mean, I've been gone for a minute, but you know, I had some stuff when I was in Seattle, Green Bay, you know, where I wasn't really doing any media, and I was getting, you know, tempted being fined or whatnot. You know, I was just, you know, I just wanted to focus on my day-to-day and not have to deal with, you know, answering questions about some of the stuff in the past. You know.
Jimmy, what is your expectations when you came here back here? I mean, a lot of fans on the outside are expecting the 2013 season again, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What is your personal expectations for the season?
You know, I know everything that happens in this building is earned. You know, this is the place that everything and every opportunity that you get, you have to earn it. Nothing's given here. You know, I mean, I know I'm going to come and I'm going to earn any opportunity that I do get. But the expectations for this overall team is you know, I don't know how you go into a season not looking to make a run, you know. But you know, that first comes with, you know, focus on the NFC South and then the NFC, and then, you know, trying to get a first round bye, and you know, that's where this team should be focused. You know, I think there's a huge buzz in the city. You know, obviously just from the outside, you know, I can see it all the way from Miami. You know, it's a special time to be a New Orleans Saint, and you know, I'm blessed to have the opportunity to work with these men. You know, and these guys and this defense and this offense. So you know, I mean, you know, the sky's the limit as long as, you know, we're going to come into work and you know, face every challenge each and every day.
Jimmy, from a physical standpoint, is this the leanest you've been like this?
Yeah. Well, the last time I was in this building, I think I weighed in at 280, 285. So, you know, I mean, I've definitely lost some weight and definitely leaned out a lot. You know, that was kind of one of the bigger focuses. I remember, you know, speaking before to Tony Gonzalez, you know, who played at a high level for a long time, and you know, that was one of his bigger emphasis was, you know, you can't train like you used to. You know, I would say I was a bit of a meathead back in the day. I think you know, working out with Jonathan Vilma kind of made me that way, and but you know, but at some point, you know, you got to transition and you know, lose a few pounds, you know, and stop eating the weights. So you know, I listened to the elders and the guys, you know, who did it at a high level before me, and you know, here I am. So
Jimmy, obviously everything has to be earned, but when you talked about, I mean, I assume you wanted to know that they have a vision for someone who can have a role, maybe red zone, third down. I assume you're not going to play a lot of special teams. I mean,
yeah.
Do they have to tell you that, you know, we have a place for somebody that'll play kind of a specialized role? Or?
Yeah, I mean, they, you know, Mickey knows what he's doing. You know, he's been doing it for a long time, and you know, he certainly doesn't sugarcoat anything. But you know, I mean, everything in this building is earned, and so, you know, I'm just here excited for camp, excited to work with these guys and work against this defense. You know, I mean, I remember being here before, and that's what made this team so good was how competitive it was each and every play. You know, everything's competitive here, and so, you know, for me, you know, just getting an opportunity to compete with these guys and to earn any role that I get, I'm really looking forward to it.
You and Marcus were obviously kind of two of a kind the way you were at the middle of the field.
Yeah.
You admired Michael Thomas from afar, and
yeah,
one of the best ever to do that too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's you know, what he's been able to do throughout his career is unbelievable. You know, I mean, I've been able to see it for a long time now, and you know, I mean, I've spoken to him a lot this week. You know, it's just unbelievable to see, you know, his work ethic, you know, just who he is as a man, and you know, how competitive he is about everything. You know, he's I mean, he's an absolute workhorse. You know, he comes to work every day, ready to fight, and you know, that's a special thing when your number one's like that. You know, and you know, I'm just looking forward to, you know, to put on a jersey and be on the same field with him. You know, because I played with some amazing receivers throughout my career, and you know, he is, you know, he's at the top of the list, man. He's got so much talent, and you know, we're really looking forward to him, you know, to really blossom this year, and you know, just to be him.
Jimmy, has Drew Brees reached out to you since you signed?
Yes, he has. Yeah, I'm gonna call him tomorrow. I'll probably FaceTime him and catch up. It's you know, he was let's say shocked for sure, and so, you know, tomorrow we'll have a conversation, and you know, I'll be able to relay some things to him, and you know, obviously, you know, we've always communicated over the years, and you know, he's an older brother to me. You know, everything that he taught me, you know, how he brought me under his wing, and now to be kind of on the reverse role with other guys on this team is very interesting, you know, and fun, you know, to be able to do the things that were done for me.
Jimmy, Tyron kind of joked with us that he thought you were a coach when he saw you walking around the building.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have anything to prove to anybody about your capabilities to perform?
Yeah, you know, I definitely came into this with a chip on my shoulder, you know, and with something to prove. You know, obviously, not being in the game and then coming back like that, you know, is
is very intriguing, and you have to prove yourself. You know, you basically have to prove yourself every day when you're trying to do what I'm doing right now. You know, and that's especially in this building. That started on Monday when I came out here, and ran as many routes as they asked. You know, this is the place that you know, you're going to work, and you know, so for me it's about, you know, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm definitely coming here with a chip on my shoulder, you know, and ready to compete, you know, ready to compete on every level that I can, and at every opportunity that I can.
Did you hold up as expected?
Was that?
Was your self-review as expected after those first couple practices back?
Yeah. I mean, I think I know I'm definitely in shape. You know, besides taking the year, you know, I mean, I took the year to get my body right. You know, when you're taking as many hits as I have over the years, you know, I mean, I had a lot of miles on me, and you know, you know, I started biking, and you know, basically, you know, bike hundreds of miles a week. I'm in the best cardio shape of my life, so you know, I know that's not a problem at all. You know, and now, you know, looking forward to getting the pads on, and you know, getting back to putting some calluses on. You know, and you know, it's gonna be a good feeling. You know, to do that, and one, I'm just blessed to be here, blessed for this opportunity. When you're away from the game, you realize how much you love it, and when you're away from this building, you realize how special this place is, from top down, from the ownership to the coaches, to the players, and obviously to our city. You know, this city, you know, best fans of football. You know, when you win here, is different. You know, it's a religion here, and you know, I'm proud to be back. Thank you. Thank you.
I haven't been up here ever.
So how did it feel to get the deal? How did the team take care of you and all that?
I was not surprised, but I wasn't expecting it to come so quickly. And to get what I got, I'm truly blessed, and I can't thank the organization enough for treating me the way they treated me, and you know, I'm just blessed, and thank God for, you know, getting me to this point.
Just kind of what's been the key to your consistency over the years? Like, what kind of goes into that?
You know, just repetition. You know, just doing the same thing every single day, on and off the field. And luckily, I'm playing with guys who can make me right when I'm not. Like, I really struggled. You guys may not have noticed my first 3 or 4 years, and I got a shout out to Will Lutz, because he made a lot of kicks when he shouldn't have because of me. You know, so I really got to thank him for keeping me here. I really appreciate that from him, and you know, I'm blessed. And when you say repetition, just keep doing the same thing every single day. You know, and trusting the process, and it'll lead you to a good spot.
What was going wrong those first couple of years that he was maybe covering up?
Well, just a lot of, you know, a lot of the things with the laces, location on the snaps. You know, it's nothing like super dramatic, but to the kicker that matters a lot. You know, and he never let it bother him. He grinded through it, and he made some really big kicks when I wasn't great. So I owe it to him that I'm still here. So I appreciate him for making those kicks, keeping me around, making me right. And I appreciate Thomas Morstead. He did the same thing, and Blake Gillikin when I'm wrong. Both those guys made me right, so I appreciate them.
Can you just speak to how difficult it is to maintain? I mean, there's only 32 of these jobs on planet Earth, you know? Like,
yeah.
How hard is it to get one of these and then hold on?
It's, I think most of it's luck. Obviously, you have to have the talent and the skill to do it, but jobs don't open up very often. I got blessed with an opportunity here, and from, you know, the group that we have a group chat, all the long snappers, and it's just about just being able to do your job as long as they want to pay you. You can keep it. So just keep doing the things right, keep being good to people, and just, you know, keep doing everything you can, and people will treat you that way, and you'll keep the job.
With all 32 other long snappers?
Yeah, we got a big group chat. Yeah, we got a big group chat.
What was that group chat like yesterday?
A lot of congrats, a lot of support, a lot of love. You know, we're a tight-knit group, so we got to support each other. You know, we anytime anybody gets a good contract, really say good job, man. You just keep leveling up to the next guy.
Have you thought long term, like how long you plan on doing this?
Well, my goal has always been, well, first it was to get in the league. And then once I was here, I was like, I want to get another contract, and now 10 years is my goal. And after that, I'm happy, and I'll play as long as they want me to.
When you started out your football career, did you envision to be a long snapper?
Absolutely not. I played defensive end growing up, all the high school and college. Even my first training camp with the Cowboys, I was playing nose tackle and long snapping. And you know, they told me you're probably not going to be a defensive lineman anymore, and just start long snapping. And I did, and I just ran with it, you know, and worked at it because I was super raw coming out, and didn't really know what really went into it. You know, like I had to get mentor LP Ladisior for the Cowboys. He's retired now, but he helped me out a lot, and so through his mentorship, he kind of guided me and molded me and taught me what I needed to know, and I kind of just took it and ran with it.
Yeah, we just mentioned that there's only 32 of these jobs across the league, but a lot of places the kicking and punting spots are kind of a rotating door. So how fortunate are you that, you know, you've had Will and Blake and before that Thomas, who are guys that have stayed for a while and been able to develop a relationship?
Super fortunate. Especially not just having those guys stay with me for a long time, but having a good friendship with them. Those guys are my brothers. When we're here, we're together all day. So to have that good relationship and have somebody that you like being around really helps. And you know, with Thomas, I've been blessed with Will and Blake. All those guys I love being around. So it makes coming in every single day, doing the same thing every single day, a lot easier.
Any idea what the Cowboys saw in a defensive end that told them he could be a long snapper?
I had no idea. Rich Bisaccia, I guess, saw some potential in me. He gave me an opportunity, and I did my best for him, and he helped me out a lot. And just the opportunity itself was a blessing. So, you know, shout out to Rich for, you know, giving me the opportunity to come out here and play.
Does it feel unique to land with an organization that cares so much about its special teams unit?
Yes, because I'm aware there's teams that, you know, care a little bit less than that, and to be with a team who wants a guy and wants to keep a guy is super important, and it gives us security as specialists to go out here and be comfortable practicing every day and playing in games, and knowing if we make a mistake or two, it's not we're out of the office after that, you know. So to just give us a little longer leash helps us out confidence-wise. So I think that's a big deal.
You landed one more. Thank you. I think you landed like top 3 in terms of guarantees. What does that mean to you to see that confidence from the organization?
It means the world. It means that they trust me, and sometimes it's hard to accept that, you know, and to see it, you know, written down on paper that they do trust me, means more than I could ever ask for. Yep. Thanks, y'all.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm doing great.
Great to see you without the food.
Hey, check me out. I've been wearing my Jordans and all that again. The swag is back. It's great. We feeling good.
What did you need to find out in the first 4 days of practice, and how did it go compared to expectations?
In terms of this?
Yeah.
This thing right here?
Yeah.
Oh, this thing didn't even happen.
Yeah.
You know, we got an amazing training staff in there. So, I mean, they've done a good job getting me back to where I got to get to. And, you know, you can't. I forget it even happened. So that's definitely great.
What about conditioning, shape, all that kind of stuff that you didn't get to have a normal offseason?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was in shape, though. I was on the bike. Everything I could possibly do to stay in shape, I did it. So I couldn't run on the treadmill. I was on a bike. If I couldn't run on land, I was running in the pool. So I basically, whatever I couldn't do with my feet in that very moment, I would just do on a bike or find an alternative. So that was a big thing for me to make sure I stayed in shape. So.
Caesar, what are maybe the expectations you're setting for yourself heading into this season?
be better than I was last year. You know, I have that list of things that, hey, I need to improve on this, improve on this, improve on this, and my goal ultimately is to help this team win, but also build off of what I got to fix in order to make that happen.
What are some of those things in detail?
Let me see. I'll give you a few because I have a long list, but I don't got the list in front of me. So a lot of stuff is just, you know, I take sometimes shortening steps, or, you know, focusing on aiming points, or just being more comfortable with certain different techniques. You know, with Jari here, I'm learning a lot of different things, a little different techniques. So not being timid or hesitant to try new things. So that's really the big thing I'm working on now, is trying different techniques and adding more things to my game.
How's it been having Jari back in the building again this year?
That's amazing. It's definitely great. You know, Jari brings a whole different. He just brings so much that I can add to my game, and he's extremely helpful. You know, he's gonna sit down and he's gonna walk me through how, or anybody that asks, he's gonna walk me through how to do all of these things. So, like I said, it's great to have him. You know, someone of what he's done, you know, with me right now and with all of us, is definitely great. So,
is his focus kind of helping you through that list, or is he bringing you some additional pieces that he's able to help you?
Yeah, Jari is here. I use Jari as like, hey, how'd you do this when you played this team, or how'd you do this, or how did you use it? I'm really just trying to get as much information as I can. That way I can implement it into my game, and, you know, going out here and trying those different things.
Anything specific that comes to mind that's a Jari pearl?
So Jari used to have an amazing jump set. If Jari jump set you, there was nothing you could do. So I'm asking, hey, how do it? How do I do it, man? And you know, that's one thing I've implemented into my game. You know, being more comfortable with that, being more confident in that, and trying those things out.
I know you haven't been in pads yet, but what are your early impressions of some of the new guys on the defensive line interior?
Yeah, it's funny because it's a whole lot of new faces, but it's definitely great because, you know, every single guy has you know, everybody, you know, every player has their thing they're good at, so it's great to see. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I might get the number wrong, but it's a lot of them. A lot of new guys with their own special thing that they're good at. So you know, it's definitely good to go against that and seeing a whole bunch of different things I'm not used to seeing. So it's great.
Of course, one of the biggest, newest faces that you have is quarterback Derek Carr. How's that adjustment been, and what are your impressions on him so far?
That's my guy. I've been a fan of Derek Carr since he was on the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew what he was about. So it's definitely great to have him here. Great, you know, great leader for us, a great teammate. So it's definitely exciting for us.
What made you a fan of him when he was with the Raiders, and how has he lived up to that here?
I mean, you got to check his stats. You checked his stats before and they crazy. He bombs away. You know what I'm saying? So, but one thing I really liked watching him, you know, he would run around, not like crazy. You know what I'm saying? He could escape things, make deep throws, and just overall, just his swagger on the field to me, like, I loved it. So I've always been a fan of Derek Carr, so it's definitely great to have him as my quarterback right now. So,
CJ, what can you carry over from sort of the success and production you had last season? Is it confidence? Is it knowing what worked and being able to build off that?
Yes, a little bit of everything you just said. Confidence, knowing what worked, knowing what didn't work, trying to make the things that didn't work, see if I can make them work here in Kent. You know, those new things. So that's just how I'm just keep building. You know, just that football intelligence. You know, reacting quicker. You know, as I continue to play this game, I start to notice I'm able to react to things quicker. Things are looking familiar to me. So it's just how I'm gonna build off of. You know, it's continue to build off of what I did last year, and yeah.
Colin Saunders told us the other day he thinks he surprises interior linemen with the way he moves for his size. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, it is. That's my guy, though. He's a funny guy. He's funny. But yeah, he does. He's a shifty guy, too. You don't expect all that stuff. When you see him, you don't expect all of it out of him. But yeah, he's got some moves to him. Like I said, everybody new here has something they're going to surprise you with. So, you know, like I said, we're learning that here in camp, and it's fun to compete against it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys, too.
Troy Pride on the left.
Delonte, so yeah, doing some kick returns today. When was the last time you did that?
Man, probably in high school, just messing around though, nothing serious. I've never really done return before, but I don't think I can't do it, you know. So we'll just see what coach feels like should happen.
How'd that conversation come back?
Coach just told me to go back there and catch some kicks, and ever since then I've been back there catching kicks. Yeah.
Can you talk about how Sean and Tyron have kind of mentored you through your first 2 years?
Yeah, so I think it's different. You know, Tyron kind of more so took me under his wing where we kind of hung out more off the field. And they just kind of pulled me to the side there and like in the locker room and just kind of told me ins and outs of the league, kind of what to look for, what not to look for. And then on the field, you know, he just kind of lets me know that he's behind me. And that kind of lets me know, he alerts me on certain calls that are about to come up, certain routes that could possibly come. And then Marshawn is just more of like the guy who teaches me more about technique, kind of tells me how I can be savvy, more savvy here, more savvy there. Now that I know what to do and I know the playbook and I know how to like play, he's kind of been helping me a little bit as far as showing a disguise instead of just lining up. So two totally different type of leaders for me, but you know I embrace both of them.
How important was last year getting just like so much opportunity to be out there on the field as much as you were?
Very important. You know, coming in, you know, every rookie feels like, you know, they should go out there and be able to start. But coming in, you know, I just honed in on just doing my job, and you know, my job at the time was to become the best special teams player that I could be, but also learn the playbook just in case my number was called. And I feel like I just took advantage of my opportunity when it came. I hate that Marshawn was out for so long, but you know, it helped me get plays under my belt and give me time on the field and built my confidence up for sure.
What can you guys do as a defense to like create a mentality where everybody's just working to get more turnovers and, you know, take advantage of those opportunities?
I feel like just attacking the ball. You know, we do a lot of ball drills now, pre-practice. You know, y'all guys aren't out there, but we do a lot of ball drills, pre-practice, and just attacking the ball. I feel like, you know, coach kind of shows us plays where we had so many missed opportunities last year where we could have probably been a #1 defense in turnovers. But we just dropped interceptions, weren't taking punches at the ball. So just making sure that we're conscious about that and just go out there and just make plays.
I know we asked you a little bit about this during minicamp and OTAs, but now you've gotten a little bit of extra time with him. How has Joe Woods impacted your game coming into your second year?
A lot. You know, he kind of teaches me, you know, more so about alignments and, you know, how many steps to take just so I can be in the right position. More so at the nickel position, I think. You know, playing outside corner, you know, he kind of teaches the same technique that I've always done before. Just more emphasis on maybe a step, maybe not. But the nickel position, he tells me so much about how many steps it takes just to be in the right position that I didn't know. So that makes me more confident and more comfortable.
How's that work in the slot continue to progress for you since camp or minicamps?
Good. You know, last time I spoke, I said OTAs and minicamp, I had more losses than wins. But now I go in there and I feel confident, you know, as far as knowing what my job is. Now I just got to get comfortable with being savvy a little bit and kind of being in the right place at the right time. So just, you know, more reps I take, like I said, the more confidence I got.
What do you find to be the biggest adjustment in covering the middle of the field or the inside, I guess?
Those guys running away from you. I feel like, you know, you got help, but sometimes the ball may be thrown before the help can get there, so might get beat on the play here or there. I feel like the slot's more difficult than playing outside corner, in my opinion. But I think it's just more of a technique thing, just being in the right place at the right time and rerouting guys and just running with guys.
Do you think you'll always feel that way, or is it just because it's newer to you?
Maybe because it's newer to me. I've never played it before. Maybe the more I play the position, the more I'll one day say slot's harder than outside corner. But I feel like, you know, I do my thing at corner, so I feel like it is what it is there. Yeah.
How does the run game change for you when you're in the slot as well? Because I imagine that's a big adjustment.
Oh yeah, you gotta know your gaps, right? You gotta know when what gap is yours, what gap is not. You gotta know when the tight end's at. But I love that though. I feel like I'm a hitting corner. So yesterday I had some plays in the slot where I triggered on the run and I would have killed the running back. I don't care how big he was. So I feel like it's just part of my game though. So I love it.
Was your play in the run game a part of what they might have talked to you about during your draft process or anything like that?
No, I ain't never really hear that. More so just I was a physical corner, and that they love the way that I came in on the runs. But I think that's just a part of my game. I feel like I still cover and all the other stuff too, though.
I noticed that like you and Paulson all celebrate each other's plays, and you guys are hyping each other up, but you are in competition with each other. You can't fake that, like celebrate each other. Like, how do you guys maintain that perspective of not allowing the competition to like mess up the meeting room or jealousy or anything like that?
I mean, I feel like we grown men at the end of the day. We understand what the business is, but like Paulson was my guy when I came in. We used to do work all the time after practice together. We still do it now. But at the end of the day, we know like we're in competition, but we just come out here and compete. We love on each other, and we always talk about it. We're gonna push each other, and the only way to do that is, hope and pray, and that Paul's gonna go make a play, because it boosts me up to want to go make a play. And just by doing that, that competition will always be there. But we're making each other better. So. Yeah.
Were there many plays last year you felt like you could have made a turnover, or just whatever?
Man. A lot of plays. Actually, I feel like I left probably about 5 or 6 turnovers on the field. You talk about the Atlanta game at the end of the year. Could have had 3 turnovers myself there. And then there were some plays earlier in the year that I also could have made some plays. I think it was more so just me just out there being athletic and just playing ball and not understanding the game and just trying to make the plays on the ball and just try to take care of my assignment. But now I understand the game. So take care of my assignment, but then also look to try to find the ball. So, yeah.
Yeah, the confidence level you were talking about earlier, I think parlay into that maybe?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think as much now. I just kind of go out there and just be like, okay, I know this is my job, and I kind of know route concepts and stuff like that and understand offensive plays. So now I can kind of go out there and be savvy and then make a play.
What's it like watching those cut-ups that Coach puts up?
Sick. Everybody's in the room like, dang. But we know that we were there, right? And so now we just got to capitalize on that. Being 30th in the league and turnovers is not the type of standard that we have here. And so looking to improve that.
When you talk about turnovers you could have had, are you talking more about interceptions or strips?
Interceptions. I mean, you think about the Atlanta game at the end of the year. I had the drop pick 6 I could have had, undercut Drake London twice. Those are picks that I should have had. Talk about the Raiders game, tight end, that's a pick I should have had. Deep ball on Cordell Patterson, first play of the game. I should have went inside and caught the ball. He was already cut off. So there's a lot of plays out there that I could have picked the ball off that I just didn't capitalize on. Good. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man.
Nothing tastes better than flavorless water, not getting sued.
Foster, what's it like being back in your home state of Louisiana?
It's exciting. It's hot. It's really hot. But we're having fun. Honestly, one of the only regrets I have is I feel like if I don't sign enough autographs at the end of practice, I feel like I'm going to walk outside and it's just going to be one of the neighbors that I couldn't sign an autograph for, and I'm just going to feel like the biggest POS you've ever seen, But I'm having a blast. We're off to a great start, and guys are really working hard. You just feel the accountability circling around the locker room. It's fun.
Foster, growing up in New Orleans and playing tight end, how much of a Jimmy Graham fan were you growing up? And what's it like to see him in the building?
It was Shockey before him, and that's kind of where I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And by that point, when it started with Shockey, I wasn't even playing tight end yet. I was playing like running back and wide out and just kind of like H-backs type stuff. But then when I got to varsity, I started playing tight end, and then so I really started locking in. And so Jimmy, right, was a dog, and he still is. Honestly, he runs great, and so it's just such a funny situation. You walk into the locker room, and oh my God, Jimmy Graham's right there. It's pretty funny. I actually have a signed Jimmy Graham autographed jersey in a shadow box that I had at my dad's house in my room. It's a weird situation. Weird. It happened similar 3 years ago. I'd seen every clip of Jason Witten tape, and then all of a sudden he's in the same position room. It's funny how it works. I'm probably going to wind up with one of the greatest tight end Rolodexes of teammates that you could ever imagine. It's pretty good.
Sir, did you acquire that autograph in person, or how'd you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That was a Lyle Morrow gift to me for Christmas that I was told I could not wear to home games because it had an autograph. So it happens.
So you were playing tight end at Jesuit when he was really.
When he started to absolutely burst onto the scene, that's when I started the transition.
And what did you remember loving about his game then? I don't know. Did you get the seam passes or just?
He had great hands, but his physicality after the catch. I go back to the playoff game against the 49ers, right? And I go back and I see him going for, I don't even remember how long it was, but to me it was 130 yards. He was rumbling down the field, breaking tackles. A tremendous talent, and I'm excited to be in the room with him. We're more than happy to have him.
When we were here for minicamps, OTAs, you and Derek Carr were sort of talking about the language and how familiar the offense still was to you. How has that held for you coming here in the training camp and getting executed a little bit more?
It's certainly held up, especially with repeat install. Making sure that we're all on the same page that's paramount. And I'd say it's been a pretty clean camp assignment-wise. I know from our room, and I wouldn't want to speak on anyone else's, but looking on the tape, it feels like defense is fitting gaps, just how DA wants them to. And I feel like offensively there aren't a lot of free hitters, in the run protection game. And if we all break the huddle knowing what to do, that's the first step. Yeah.
Tight end room's getting kind of crowded. What's the dynamic in there now with so many guys and diverse skills?
Well, crowded is a negative room, that's a negative term. We don't think it's crowded. We're, it's like a good old fashioned pot of American gumbo. No, I'm joking. The seats are definitely filling up, but and the best part is the personalities don't really clash. We all kind of we're similar people, and we all got to do kind of the gritty work. Got to put your hand in the ground and go hit someone. It's playing as a tight end, you could always feel like you're at a disadvantage. The guys that you're blocking are bigger than you. The guys that you're running against are faster than you. But that's a negative way to look at it. You could think you're quicker than the big guys and you're bigger than the small guys. It's just a matter of perspective. And for us, it's not a crowded room. It's a conjoined process and group of guys that really want to get after it and are excited when someone else makes a big play.
Speaking of personalities, we talked to Juwan yesterday. He said the tight end room is like the Ninja Turtles. He said he's Donatello, and he said we'd have to ask you who you identify with. So, as you can.
Shoot. Man. I don't know if I could really speak on that all that well. I was more of a Pokemon kid growing up. I don't know if I'm Michelangelo. I doubt it. I'd say Clancy Barone or Jimmy Graham is Master Splinter. Just guys are just on the ball. It's it's a good time. I don't know. What are the other two? Who's the one who's always eating pizza? All of them? That's Michelangelo?
You're a Leonardo kind of guy.
Thanks. I'm Leonardo kind of guy. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's great.
Foster, where did you work out this off season? Like, were you working out here so you're used to the heat again, or did you go somewhere else?
Used to the heat that's a funny term that I'm not familiar with. There was plenty of running around the block, 2-3 miles in the morning and maybe a mile to close out the day. Derek had some time and he was training with some guys out in Vegas, and there's only so much you could do to prepare for the heat, but you could be in condition, but there's no condition like football condition, honestly. So it's tough, but we're enjoying it and we're working through it, and the player loads are getting high, but the smiles aren't leaving anyone's faces.
Did you go out to Vegas with them?
I did not. I was unavailable. I had 2 weddings and the tight end university kind of got in the way of that. But, you know, we got out and we caught some balls anyway. It's good.
Foster, when you think about maybe going out to Oakland and move to Vegas, has it been easier to kind of focus on football and not have to, since you're here and you know how to get around town, know some spots to go eat and live, where to shop, has it been easier to just kind of focus in on the football and not have to worry about getting everything else settled?
You would like to think that's the case. And I'm sure as the in-season activities roll around, that probably will be the case. I'm hoping. You know, it's funny. You can't really go in Vegas and Oakland. I could kind of do whatever I wanted without anyone really knowing who I was, which was great. You know, but ever since I've been back home, it's hard to take a jog around the block without someone recognizing you, which is fun. It's got its place. It's cool. But you know, I'm definitely locked in on football, regardless of where I am. I'm just happy that I could be here doing it for the home crowd.
Foster, you know Derek probably as well as anybody in that locker room. How have you seen the transition, where he's at now, his comfort level and the offense and everything that goes with that?
Yeah, I think he's definitely comfortable, and he's going to continue to grow into that role. You know, he's our leader. He's who we're going to turn to when we need something to happen offensively. He's an exceptional teammate, a great leader for us. I'm just, you know, I'm so blessed to be here with a guy. It's funny. I could finish practice, walk over there, and there I see his wife Heather and his 4 kids, Dallas, Decker, Deacon, and Brooklyn. It's just, you know, it hits home for me because, you know, they've been part of my home for the past 4 years, and now that they're here at my home, it's pretty cool. I know that's not really all that football related, but, you know, for me, I'm really excited to be here with him, and, you know, he's got a command of the offense that, you know, I think the city will be really excited to see.
Already, he's got that command of this.
He's great. He's an extremely high level competitor and the ultimate teammate. There's not a time he's going to break the huddle without being 105% sure of what he wants to do on a certain play. So yeah, I mean but that's playing quarterback in the National Football League. That's not something I'd be able to do. It's just he's got to lead for us, and he's got to know that it's 24/7 for him all the time.
On the opposite side of the football, Colin Saunders, who's also a new addition to the team, is highlighted for the attacking play style of the defense being something that he really loves. Is there an element of the offense that you're really enjoying here that maybe wasn't a part of the offense where you previously were?
I mean, that's a high level pro football focused question that I would struggle to answer. But you know, Pete Carmichael's been a great coordinator in this league for a long time, and he knows how to dial it up just as good as anyone. And I'm excited to work with him and work for him, and you know, whatever he asks of us is what we got to do. There's definitely a couple of things. You know, I don't want to give away too much scheme, of course, but we're having fun. You know, just kind of trying to trick the defense on the script. It's been pretty fun.
It says a lot that it just brings a smile to your face.
It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah.
Foster, what are some of the things that Clancy Barone does exceptionally well and just adds to the tight end room?
I think Clancy, first and foremost, he's got an emotional intelligence, and he could read players at an extremely high level. It's just, I'm excited to work with him, and from the very first meeting that we had, I knew that we were going to click. He's just, you know, he's the ultimate player coach, but you know, he expects the world from you, and he's going to give you everything that you need to accomplish your goals. That's exactly what any player in this league wants from a position coach. Someone who will give you leadership, confidence. He'll give you tools and different skill sets during the game. You know, different fastballs that you could use against rushers, different curveballs to use against safeties. It's he's been in this league for a long time. I'm excited that I get to work with him. Certainly, he's already making this room a better place with better players.
Juwan highlighted yesterday that Coach Barone brings in a little bit of a unique asset in terms of your run blocking, then your pass blocking, then your pass catching, and you're kind of moving about. Is that unique to you as well, and how has that impacted your prep?
Yeah, he'll. I assume Juwan was talking about our individual work. Yeah, and that's just another tool that he uses in his toolbox, right? It's he kind of goes and he'll kind of taper our individual work as we would on a drive, right? So it's like if we're going to start with a run, we're always going to start with run, and then we're going to go to pass, and then we're going to do some play action pass stuff. We're going to be pass blocking, and we're going to do a couple of different things so that we don't get mired into, okay, the beginning is run, and then it's pass, and then it's play action. He's flipping us every which way for the 20 minutes, 15 minutes that we get of Indy. Which it's great. I mean, it's a way to keep our minds active and keep people sharp and keep guys on their toes. It's another tool in his toolbox that he's been very comfortable with and he's found success on. Yeah.
So you had one training camp in Napa? Did you get one?
I did have one training camp in Napa.
That's like the equivalent of getting to play with Jason Witt and Jimmy Graham and
Well, that was pretty special. I was a rookie, and we had Hard Knocks during that time.
Oh gosh.
So, I had myself on a pretty short leash. But I mean, if other guys can venture out into the
Well, it's just more about it being 80 degrees and sunny.
sweet grapevine. Yeah, you're right. It's pretty cool. It would get a little warm during the middle of the day, but I didn't know how good I had it, which is all right. That's fine. I mean, things change, feelings change, people change too. Whatever.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,